Hey everyone, got an original Xbox here. Fairly decent condition. Couple of scratches at the front though. And doesn't look like it's been opened before. Also, going off the date code right there, this looks like it's a version 1.0. At the very least, we will have to open it and take out that clock capacitor. But as it stands, I have no idea what's wrong with this thing. The ad for this just said broken. So let's plug it in and take a look. And there is nothing on the screen right now. Let's turn it off. We'll go ahead, open this up, but to be perfectly honest, with that flashing red light, I don't really have much hope for it. But let's see, you never know. These are the screws that are in there. That's all 6 screws now. Should be able to just lift the top off. And all things considered, this is really not that dirty inside. Let's get these drives out. And 2 more screws, one there and one in there. Here we can get a good look at everything. Surprisingly, doesn't look like any of these caps have leaked. No signs of corrosion on the board or anything. Doesn't mean that the caps aren't bad though. Gonna try powering it up without the drives. Just noticed something here. The supercapacitor, this thing right here, corrosion right there around the base of it. Can't really tell if the camera's picking that up or not. But yeah, I'm gonna take the board out and give that a good clean and then desolder that supercapacitor. And as well, gonna be careful not to touch anything in here. Oh, by the way, these are T10 screws, and these ones are T20. Here's the board, and right there by my thumb is where the corrosion is. So that capacitor is right here on the other side, and you can kind of see some stuff right there. But otherwise, this looks okay. This may just be flux, but yeah, let's get that capacitor removed. There's the capacitor right there, and I can see some corrosion at the bottom of the legs there. Not sure if that comes across in camera or not. Totally unrelated, but it's about 4 hours later. We just had a massive snowstorm and my arms are killing me right now. But either way, I've taken a magnifying glass to this thing on both sides and I don't see any broken traces or anything else that might be broken, which does not give me much confidence in getting this thing fixed. Now, because this is a version 1.0, from what I understand, the BIOS is on a 1 meg chip, but the BIOS itself is only 256 kilobytes. So apparently there's 4 copies of the BIOS in this thing, and I believe there's a hack you can do by bridging a test point to one of these capacitors to bypass the first copy of the BIOS and have it go to the next one. Probably probably is not going to work with this. Doesn't seem to work that well for FRAG errors, but apparently it is possible to fix this by putting a mod chip on it. But let's not get too ahead of ourselves. Let's get this put back together and we'll see where we stand. Should be able to check if we still get the error now, even without the drives in. Wall power's on. And let's see what happens. Yep, I think, yeah, FRAG error again. Let's make sure. Yep. Actually, one last thing. Now, I believe it was a video from Retro 6 where he basically laid his finger at this spot right here. And for some reason, the capacitance from his finger made the FRAG error go away. So, let's see if we get that lucky. Nope. Same thing. Yep. And still nothing on the screen as well. Okay, so we'll get this back together. I'll order a mod chip for this, and we'll move on to this. Hey everyone, it's the next day because I was dead tired yesterday, and incidentally am still tired because I just finished another hour of shoveling. Regardless, got a second Xbox here. This one's from Mike the Murderer from Facebook, who incidentally is not a murderer. Even wrote it down there. This one's been opened before, but better cosmetic condition on this one, at least at the front. So let's see what happens when we plug this one in. Green light, hasn't turned off yet, and the TV didn't turn on. And right, so got a FRAG error again. However, this time we have an actual error on the screen, error 11. Also, the good thing is this one isn't turning on and off like the other one, but I am unable to see if I got a free game with this. So let's open this up and see what we're dealing with. Now, if I remember correctly, error 11 does mean a bad disk drive, a bad CD drive I should say, but the fact that the drive didn't open and there's no sounds or anything coming from it leads me to think that it may not be plugged in properly onto the motherboard. But why did it disconnect it in the first place? Gonna have to put some fresh glue on these legs as well. So right off the bat, the drive does look like it's plugged in. Oh no, never mind. If you can see right there, that drive is not plugged in. Am I finally gonna get an easy fix? Let's see. Okay, so the DVD drive power is connected again. I am, of course, still going to open it up and take the drives out to look at the supercapacitor. But for now, let's see if this thing actually boots up. Drive opens up. And that's the screen right now. Looks like we might be good. 1 second, I'm going to grab a game and a controller. Okay, we've got the best game and the best controller right here. And the controller does work. We'll leave the date where it is. Pop the game in right now. Game's loading. Still loading. Right, that's not good. Mind you, this disc isn't pristine by any measure. Still, it should be able to read it. So let's remove the drives, check the supercapacitor, and then take this drive apart to see what we're dealing with. Right, so the supercapacitor's still there, and it does look like there's a little bit of leakage or corrosion around the area. Nothing too bad, it looks like, though. So I'm going to do this the really stupid way. And just grip this with a pair of pliers. And leave all of this behind. There we go. clean this out. That should be okay now. Let's take a look at this. And someone has been in here, it looks like. So honestly, I'm not holding out much hope for this. What I am hoping though is the other broken one from yesterday. Maybe I'll be able to steal that DVD drive, assuming that one's working. Because I should mention, these original Xboxes, unlike modern consoles, the DVD drive is not locked to the motherboard. The hard drive is, however. Doesn't even matter the name brand. These are all interchangeable on any original Xbox. And I'll be honest, I've never opened a Philips one of these before. I've opened Thomson's, Samsung's, Mitsui's. Not even sure if I've seen a Philips, to be honest. Must have, but definitely don't remember this thing on any of the other ones I've worked on. Laser looks fairly clean. And I'm going to assume whoever's been in here may have been messing with the potentiometer for the laser as well. Not sure if this looks slanted. It looks like it's more in there and more out that side. And that looks fairly okay. I will try and clean the lens again just in case. So only the slightest touch with this isopropyl alcohol. That looks fairly clean. In fact, the whole inside of the drive is pretty much clean. We'll pop this back together. I don't think that's going to make any difference, but like you've seen in there, it doesn't look like there's any strange stuff going on. And even if I were inclined to tweak that potentiometer, that's only a temporary fix. If you do that, you're pretty much only kicking the can down the road to the next person that inherits this. Okay, so let's see if that's done anything. So I'm going to go grab the other Xbox and we're going to take that DVD drive out of there. Here's our old friend. And the funny thing is, I was actually contemplating not screwing this one back together. Just tossing the screws into a Ziploc bag and taping it to the chassis. So yeah, should have listened to my gut on that one. And I should be able to just drop the second one straight in there. Now we can power this up again, and hopefully this thing works. That's interesting. 1 second. Let's pull that out. Why has this one suddenly decided to throw a FRAG error now? I'm honestly wondering if this drive just killed the motherboard on both of these. But before we jump to any conclusions, let's just make sure everything's plugged in as it should be. Let's disconnect the ID cable, just in case it's the hard drive somehow doing that. And right. Now it loads up. Is there something wrong with that cable? And this should throw an error in a second. Yep, error 7. Okay, let's plug the drive back in. Power it up again. And no FRAG error this time. Right. And yeah, back to error 11 again. Is it this metal thing that's grounding something out? Okay, don't really need that. Just gonna hang these off the edge, power them up. And now it boots up. Really? Let's just make sure this thing will play a game. Okay, so we're currently loading. And looks like the game's gonna come up. So yeah, I'd say this is working right now. Okay, so I'm gonna put the drives back in how they should be, and then we'll test it again. Okay, this is back together. I haven't popped the 3 screws in, but let's just make sure it still works. Powers up, and right away we'll try Crimson Skies again, and looks like we're still good. That's interesting. I believe the person that owned this previously also has a save game for this. We're still loading, but no one's ever accused an original Xbox of being a speed demon. So I do believe we're good, but let me grab some gameplay footage.
Better patch this plane up quick.
Stupid game. So looks like we've managed to get one working Xbox at least. Not exactly sure what happened when I plugged the drive in the first time. Maybe I didn't have it seated properly. Maybe I was pinching some other cable or shorting something else out. No clue. Maybe it was even this thing. Maybe this thing was shorting up against something. Who knows? But regardless, one working Xbox and one junky Xbox. And like I said, I will order a mod chip to see if it's the BIOS that's corrupt on that one. Hopefully that fixes that. If not, that may become a parts machine. But yeah, it is nice to finally get something to fix that's not a complete nightmare. Oh yeah, for these 2 missing legs here, don't actually have any super glue at the moment. So just for now, and so I don't lose these, we'll put a drop of hot glue. And as soon as the snow plows have finished clearing the 50 feet of snow that we got, I'll go grab some super glue. Or maybe not if the hot glue holds. We'll see. In any case, thanks for watching. Take care.